Welcome to the Listener to Liquidator training. I'm going to walk you through the steps that you need to take listeners on your show, whether that be on a podcast, a YouTube channel, on a live show, how to take them from just listening to then taking the next step to engaging with you by becoming a lead. Okay. So there are three key things that you need. And there are several steps that I'm going to walk you through that you're going to have to get through in order to be successful. So in this video, I'm going to break down all those pieces. Keep in mind that this process lives within step 3 of the 9-step 6-figure show launch process. And so you are seeing a portion of the entire thing. So there may be pieces that you're like, that doesn't make sense, and just bear with me, right? Okay. So the very first and most important thing is you actually need a traffic source. And for our purposes, we're really talking about your show, your podcast, what you're putting up on YouTube, your traffic source. Okay. The good thing here is that if you are producing a show, more than likely those people are seeing you more than one time. And so what we want to do is we want to create something that allows us to continuously talk about it over and over again. So we're not trying to figure out what is it that I'm talking about today? What is it that I do today, right? So we need some staple things that folks can go to say, yep, I'm going to go and do this because he keeps talking about it, right? And it aligns with what we're doing and how we're creating, okay? So that's number one. And we're going to leverage our traffic source, our podcast, our YouTube channel, our live, just our show, right? In order to take those eyes on that one piece and move it over to the place where we want them to be, which is becoming our leads, okay? The second piece is we need a consistent landing page. We need one place that we can send them, right? I said we need one thing. We need the traffic source, and we need one thing, but we also need one place. And this is going to help you because if you have one place that you're sending people to get one thing, then it's so much easier for you to say, go to this place and get this thing. Okay. Now, as you go throughout the internet, you will notice that marketers, bigger businesses have tons of stuff that they're constantly telling people to download, to grab. That's fantastic. As starting out and trying to figure this out, we want to create one thing just to get started. As we continue to grow, as we continue to work with our ideal clients, we'll start to learn what something else that we should offer, and we can change that one thing, and we can offer different things, right? Within the 9-step 6-figure show launch, I can at least offer 9 different things, but I didn't start that way. I started offering one thing, okay? The next step is we have to have some sort of confirmation page. When we talk about the confirmation page, if you got here, you went to my confirmation page. Some place for me to say, hey, you got the thing that you came for. Here's what the thing is. Here's the general idea of how to use the thing. And by the way, here's who I am. That's important. We have to provide our listeners some idea of what's going on. Because yes, more than likely if they're coming from our show, they know who we are, but that's not the only way that somebody might find it. Your listener may refer someone to this page because they're like, I really like the thing that I got, right? So we don't want to make an assumption that the listener knows who we are, so we don't want to skip this confirmation, and the listener knows exactly what to do with the thing that we just gave them, okay? The next one is we need to send them to a place to do the next thing, right? Most of us are here because we have a business and we want people to work with us long term. And so if you're a service business and you do it professionally, you have some consulting, some coaching, some maybe some sort of management service, something where you're providing a service over a long period of time and you don't have a physical thing that I'm offering you, then more than likely you're going to need to do an appointment with someone just to sit down, talk to them, say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and to get a good feel for if they're a good fit for you. This is going to do two things, right? Number one, it's going to make the listener much more likely to trust and to do the next step. But also number two, it's going to start bringing you another level of clarity about who works and who doesn't work, right? Especially in the beginning of your show, you're trying to figure out exactly what type of listener, where to get listeners from. You're going to start to find that, you know what, there are certain places I don't want to go and certain places I do want to go. And this is how you start building that out, okay? And then lastly, we want to have a thank you page or reconfirmation. And that might sound weird, but when we did this, we confirmed that they did the first step, okay? They opted in to the thing that we gave them, and then they got here and we gave them some context about what the thing is, and then we asked them to take the next step, which was set up a time to talk to us, to join our group, to do whatever, join our Patreon, whatever your thing is, right? But there's another opportunity for you to just say thanks, for you to confirm that that they meant to do what they just did, or to offer something else. Again, I'm not getting super technical with this because how this is going to look may shift a little bit if you are offering something that's a little bit lower tier than trying to get an appointment, right? Okay, so what does this look like? At each one of these steps, people are going to fall off. Okay, so you're going to get your highest uptake here, right? You may get 100 listeners and 20 of them say, yep, I'm going to download that thing. And only 5 of them go to the content page, right? So what do we need? Well, we need to create emails that kind of follow up and say, hey, this is what this thing is. This is why it's great. And this is the value that I can offer you. Okay. And then finally, I know this looks the same. Matter of fact, let me change the color real quick so it's different. Finally, we want to have a chain of emails that they can go to that keeps reminding them about who we are and what we do, right? So these emails are not necessarily directly related to the thing that they just downloaded. They are interrelated, but they're not exactly about the thing they just downloaded, okay? These 4 emails probably going to be exactly about the thing they just downloaded. Hey, thanks for grabbing my X thing. Here's what this is. Here's the next step. And we're just going to go down that for about 3 to 4 days. And then we're going to transition into something a little more casual that's just in general about what it is you do as a business, as an organization. Okay. So this is how you turn listeners into leads, and ultimately how we turn leads into customers. Okay. So that's all I got for you. If you're in a position where you're like, hey, I want to launch my show, feel free to set up a complimentary call with me. I'll walk you through and we'll make sure you save time with knowing exactly the steps that you need. We're going to set up a clear path to design what it looks like to launch your show. And then we're going to eliminate stress, taking away some of the unnecessary steps that you just don't need in order to launch a show for a business. If you like to do that and you want to sit down and figure out what that looks like, go ahead down below, somewhere down below, you'll click and you can get a complimentary call and I will walk you through that. Okay. So that is all I got for you. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And outside of that, stay out here winning.